Welcome to the Republic of Players podcast, where we dive deep into the world of gaming, whether it's latest releases or classics that paved the way. Whether you are a seasoned gamer or just somebody starting out, well then this podcast is for you. Whether it's first-person shooters, role-playing games, classics, or even talking about the latest in VR technology, you need to grab your controller, sit back, and enjoy the show. What is happening, everyone? We are back. Episode 4 of the Republic of Players. This is starting to become a little bit of habit for
it's us. Not like us, is it? It's not like us.
I love it. Consistency.
Like there's this, and I think Paddy will know this, there's a moment kind of when you get in from work, you say, yes, the podcast is tonight. And then kind of, it starts to get kind of closer and you start to get a little bit more tired and all you want to do is nap.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that.
Because we're old.
Yeah, well, there's that as well.
No. We're in our prime, Pat. We're in our prime.
Yeah, we are in our prime, but we're still old. Old prime rib.
Old prime rib.
The best prime rib.
Yeah.
We have a pretty interesting show tonight. We're going over a couple of things. Elden Ring got a new expansion. We're going to be talking about that. The PlayStation Plus games for March got released. We're going to be talking a little bit about Sons of the Forest, which is after really kind of blowing up on Steam. We might be playing that after as well. And yeah, lots more. Our latest topic, or our latest section, Crime Watch, has returned. So we're looking forward to getting into that. But how's everyone doing? How's the week going, guys? Any news from anyone?
I'm sick.
Fantastic.
I got a cold again. I've had the 12th cold of the year. It's brilliant. The immune system after COVID is not good anymore. It's just, I blame COVID for everything. It's all COVID's fault. I hope it's not COVID, because I'm walking around cuddling people and stuff.
With a belly rub
as plumbers do. Oh, that was a great job, wasn't it? It was a great job. You're right.
Great job.
It's like a high five and a hug at the end of your job, is it?
Yeah.
Job satisfaction at the
shake on it.
Paddy Toner murdering old people.
Jesus.
Great clips every week. Great clips.
Gone are the days where you're looking under the sink going.
I mean, like, get back, COVID, get back. Don't look.
Yeah, get back.
Look. You can't look.
You can't look.
And look, it's a great job.
Yes, my week has just been kind of normal. Lots of video games. Actually went back to start playing a lot of the old classic
Ronan starts
RPGs.
working from home and he starts playing lots of video games. Imagine.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I've played no gaming while I'm working at home.
Of course you haven't.
Hands up, I actually haven't. I even thought I'd get in for maybe a bit of lunchtime gaming, but no, like, because you're on the screen all day, you're kind of just want to get, like, I cut the grass for lunch the other day. Like, that's how productive I've been. No, I've been playing cooperatively with one of the lads. We're playing Wasteland 3 at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant game.
Nice.
Never played any of the old ones, and yeah, really enjoying that. And also went back to play Divinity Original Sin as well. And yeah,
is Wasteland like a futuristic version of that? Like a post-apocalyptic version of
that? Yeah. It's basically the same style, classic RPG style.
Like an old Fallout game.
Yeah, it's a spiritual successor to Fallout, the old 1 and 2 Fallout. So yeah, it's really good. If you like those type of games, strategic, and yeah, it's turn-based combat, but it's really good. Very kind of immersive, and really been enjoying that. Kind of stepped away from the likes of Tarkov and a lot of the online stuff and just started enjoying single player games again, which I never thought I would, honestly, because I found the last couple of years finding it hard to kind of concentrate on single player games. But yeah, with these, they've just kind of really grabbed me in, and I'm enjoying it, really enjoying them.
That's good.
I actually, because we're talking about it later, I started a new save file in Elden Ring recently, just because of the new announcement that we'll be talking about later.
Nice.
I'm having great fun with that, because my normal guy, Ronan, seeing him, we did a few co-ops together. He's just a big bollocks who just has a big scythe on his back, and he's just a big strength, stupid idiot who just goes bonk, and that's all he does.
We are going to be talking about Elden Ring. It's going to be the first piece of news. So to segue into the news, Elden Ring's first expansion just got announced, John. And I will be 100% starting the game again. I jumped in recently myself and literally was outside Melania and got my ass kicked like 20 times. I was like, I need to start this game again.
She's that nice. Melania is horrible. Well, she's like, known as probably the hardest boss in the game, but like I said, the DLC will probably have something got to say with that. Because the DLC always has the hardest bosses, like generally in those Souls games, I think.
Am I right to say Melania is on the cover of the expansion? She's on torrent.
People are... that's the point of... So people don't think it's Melania. People think it's either Queen Merica or what I think as well, because I watched a Vashavidya video and that man can convince you of anything, that it's what's her name, Mikola.
Okay.
The who Melania is protecting, and if you go fight Moog, one of the bosses, it's like this big egg with an arm coming out of it.
Yeah,
and that's supposed to be Mikola. Watch the Vata. I can't do it justice. Watch the Vata video. He literally does a 20-minute video on that one image. And like he gets so much information out of it. It's probably it could be all nonsense, but it's great. So he thinks it's Mikola, but the other theory is that it's young Queen Merica, and it's like set in the past. People don't know when this was going to be set because obviously someone's writing torrent that isn't you. So it's a weird one.
It's very interesting. I've seen a couple of people say that it's the covers kind of compared to Shadow of the Colossus, Shadow of the Erdtree, maybe a little throw to that game. An absolute masterpiece as well. But yeah, it looks... I mean, it's good that we are getting DLC because it's a long time coming. I know they released the DLC... it was maybe 2 or 3 months ago where it was just PvP DLC.
The Colosseums.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really get into because I honestly haven't played Elden Ring since I bet it. So it was actually kind of cool going, because you see we got that community going that's really good, the Elden Ring community, where you see these lads that are clearing it like, this is my 7th playthrough. So, but like, and I get that as well because I've done that with like Bloodborne and stuff like that. But it was nice to like take a year out and then do another playthrough because I was coming past all the same caves and all the same stuff, but it felt new. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, there's a thing over here because it's been a year. So
you're not just running around knowing where everything is. And
no,
I think
don't
that's
know
the
where
way
anything
I'm going to... Oh, you do? Okay.
No, I don't know anything.
Yeah. Aidan, you played Elden Ring as well, did you?
A couple hours of it, yeah. I haven't got back and given it a full playthrough. Something always happen with a Souls game. I play it for a while and then I bounce off and then I go back and give it a real good shout afterwards.
Yeah.
So when the DLC comes out, might be the time to do that.
When the hype kind of calms down.
Yeah, I don't know. I always find I start them first, and I'm not in the mood to bash my head against the wall, and then I'll get in the mood to bash my head against the wall.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, yeah,
Saturday night alone.
You have to be in a different type of form for a Souls game, but yeah, when you do get into them, it's like I personally think Elden Ring, for me, it's one of the best open world games ever developed. I think it's a culmination of all the Souls games, plus like they learned a lot from different open world games as well. And it's just what I always find about open world games that I can appreciate is like take Zelda for example. It's just, now to say it's an easy game to play, Elden Ring is not, but it's easy to traverse. It's easy to explore. It's made so well that the controls are just intuitive, and I feel like Elden Ring is compared to Zelda because of that, because it just feels kind of easy to get around the world.
Absolutely agree.
And it's amazing to explore that world in Elden Ring. It's just so detailed, and everywhere you go.
If Elden Ring gives me a glider in the DLC, I'll be very, very happy.
The speedrunners would love that. The speedrunners would love that because they're already doing crazy stuff out there with just their jumps and stuff. So if they get a glider, it's over. Sorry, you walk away.
This is the first time I played Breath of the Wild. Like every game should steal the glider. It's such a smart idea.
Oh, it's so good. And so I'll put my hands up. I played a good bit of it. I never actually finished Breath of the Wild, so that's one I do need to go back to. But I have played a nice bit of it, and that's what Elden Ring always reminds. Obviously, it reminds me of Dark Souls, but it always reminds me of Breath of the Wild. Just because you're just open. It's like I can go there if I want to. It's probably not a good idea, but I can go there. And what I will say about the navigation of Elden Ring that I prefer to most open world games, we've talked about before. And again, I hate throwing it into the mud, but it's the one that always reminds me of it. I know you quite enjoyed it, Ronan, but Assassin's Creed Unity, when I opened up that map and I just saw all those things. I was like
Map.
all the icons,
Yeah.
icons of things I could do that like blew my head open because I was like, how am I supposed to do all these things? Whereas Elden Ring was the opposite experience where you'd open up the map and there'd be no markers, but you have to see this like little rock formation.
Yeah.
That's like, is that something? And you'd go there and there'd be this guy standing on it. You're actually looking at landmarks that may or may not be stuff, and you're just going up to these little things. Oh, there's a stream down here. I wonder if there's something in this stream. Like if you were looking at a real map, so you don't know if something's going to be there or not.
That's really a case of that. How looks interesting.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because the thing that, and The Witcher is one of the best games ever made, the third one. The one thing I didn't like was that aspect of it, was you open the map and you know exactly where you're going to go. And it is hard to kind of design a game, you know, to know where you're going to go. And I know there was a lot of complaints with Elden Ring, you know, where are we meant to go, how are we meant to follow the quests, how are we meant to follow the NPC quest lines. But I think with that game, it just does it so well that even if you pass those quests without completing them, you can do another playthrough and maybe have a Google open beside you. But I totally agree. Like the Assassin's Creed games, I like them because of the level of detail that goes into them. I'm not a massive fan or an Assassin's Creed kind of fanboy by any means. Black Flag was brilliant, but
Black Flag is ironically one of my favorite games. But go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, I just appreciate the level of detail that Ubisoft put into them games. But I would like a different approach to map design, and I think what Elden Ring does is perfect in my opinion.
Unity in particular is one of those games that I don't think it's a very good game, but oh my god, the work they did to recreate the world is insane.
Yeah.
They have some incredibly talented people doing that work, but the games.
Well, it's my main problem with Unity, again, I keep bringing it up, was just how condensed the map was. Like I remember you couldn't actually, you'd move slightly up and there'd be another thing. Just I didn't like it was so littered with like places to go and telling you exactly where to go. Again, it's just complete opposite in Elden Ring, which I liked.
Just to throw it out there, Paddy, I'll start with you first. In terms of what's the best open world game that you've played, top of the list?
Well, I love open world.
Yeah, because I know it is a strange one for you, because you're not like a huge open world fan, but
no, if I go for a game, I'd be more set paths, going down storylines, stuff that way. Yeah. So I don't really know. Like, so Red Dead is a pretty good open world that you like exploring. There's a lot to see and a lot to do. Grand Theft Auto, it's just throwing out these.
No,
the original open world back to
great game.
Then San Andreas.
Really good choice.
When that came out, compared to the old maps and stuff, it was a big game changer for
San Andreas. Was class, wasn't it?
Yeah.
San Andreas kind of brought me into RPG kind of games. Like I wouldn't be mad for Final Fantasy, I wouldn't be mad for all that kind of games. But that
you'll tap X to get your muscles up in that game.
Yeah. Do you know, you used to go to the gym.
You have to go get your hair cut. You have to do the style.
Nah, man. I go the
that.
opposite way. I go to Clockenbell and I just I eat my man into oblivion. It's great.
10 number 5s, 3 number 2s,
number 9 large.
Disagreements here. Games of
and a Diet Coke.
And a Diet Coke, yeah.
Diet Coke.
Anybody else want anything?
Aiden, best open world game?
Oh, there's very little wrong with San Andreas. I would like to mention the Yakuza games, because I think they're the best example of a small open world.
Yeah.
The Yakuza games are like, it's Kamurocho. It's like quite a small area of Japan, but every corner of the map has so much detail, and there's so many different people you meet in it. I think they're a great idea of like a smaller open world. I'm trying to think of anything else. Metal Gear Solid 5 is probably the best open world I've ever played in.
That's a good shout. Story kind of garbage, but
absolute trash.
But gameplay, I played that game for hours. I finished it and I loved that game. But as a Metal Gear Solid game, it's terrible. But as a video game, it's fantastic.
Absolutely agree. It's probably the worst Metal Gear Solid game. But it's the best game out of any Metal Gear Solid
game.
John,
what is your top game?
Open world. I mean, nostalgia-wise, I want to say San Andreas, but
it's so good.
I like, to be honest with you, technically and just visually and fun wise and how much hours I actually put into it, it probably is Elden Ring at this stage. Like I you know, me yourself and yourself, Rowan, we're massive soul heads. So to have an open world Souls game is just amazing. But San Andreas, I'll always remember getting that, whatever age I was, getting the game. And the first thing I did was taking out that big pamphlet map that was in the freaking box and putting it on the floor and just like actually surveying it, being like, this is so cool. So I'll always have the feels for San Andreas.
Yeah. It was such a jump forward. Like nothing was like Vice City is like a quarter of the size of it.
Yeah. It was,
and like it had countryside, it had 3 separate cities.
They're kind of building towards it, aren't they? They're kind of building towards it with all the maps. Remember, was it number 3 where you had all the maps closed off and then you had to complete certain missions and it opened up as you went?
I did I'd probably agree with John as I'd put Elden Ring as the top, but I'll kind of throw another one in there, and I mentioned it already. The third Witcher game has an amazing open world. I think a world that is just feels alive, and like I love fantasy anyway, so I think it's definitely hits all the nails on the head.
Not one wasted quest.
No, not one. Adam in the chat says Ghost Recon Wildlands. I have a real soft spot for that game. Wildlands, I absolutely love it. And Breakpoint, the new one, it started really rough, but it's actually turned into, for me, Wildlands 2. So if you haven't checked that one out, give it a go. It's
Tarkov's gonna be amazing when he goes open world.
Yeah, 10 years time. Speaking of open world games, Sons of the Forest passes impressive sales milestone after only 24 hours. I know we're a little bit ahead. Yeah, but 2 million they're selling. And it looks like a lot of fun, scary as hell, and those are the type of games that do scare the crap out of me. But we're all going to jump into that one, aren't we, and maybe record some content.
Oh, definitely! I'm so much looking forward to it. I never played the first Forest, so this will be a nice little treat because it's all new to me.
I mean, the first Forest is €7 now, I think, on PlayStation. There's your deal of the week, guys.
It reminds me of that other game we played, Green Hell.
Yeah,
it does. Watching it does. Maybe bar the leeches. Those gosh darn leeches.
That was a mess, wasn't it?
Green Hell's coming to VR.
Oh wow!
Oh no! I don't want that.
The single player in Green Hell is actually really good. There's a story, and it's very rare that you get a story that has cutscenes and stuff in a survival game like that.
Isn't the Forest like that? The Forest,
the Forest is like that as well. Yeah. I think the Forest is a little bit more polished than Green Hell, but
I had friends that played the Forest and really, really liked it. The first one,
but I played it as well. Scared the crap out of me.
This one now as well is, I think it's why it's mostly positive and not overwhelmingly positive, because I've seen a few negative reviews that's, it's not as polished. Not that's not as polished, but it might be losing 1 or 2 features from the original Forest. But I actually only realized this when I bought it. This is only the beta.
Yeah, it didn't come out yet.
Early access,
I only when I went to buy it, I was like, oh, because I saw everybody was playing it, so I just thought it was a new game that came out. So these features might be added along the way, which had me a little bit hesitant because I was like, well, if it's kind of I know we're playing together, but it's also kind of like a story-driven experience. Would I go back and play it when all these things are implemented? I'm not sure. But also, it was only $28.99, and it looks like a lot of fun. So that's why I bought it at the end of the day.
Nice.
Yeah. It
does have that, from the videos I've been watching today, it has that scary, goofy thing to it that I quite enjoy. Like it's just janky enough that it looks silly in places, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, this is terrifying.
I just remember in the first one I fell down some cave, and like the whole first one is based around cannibals in this forest, let's say. To stick with the name. The forest. But I fell down into this cave that was just pitch black, and the next minute I started hearing these groans, and I was like, oh my god, I have no light, it's pitch black. And that was when I realized that I needed to play with friends. So it's sitting there on in my library somewhere, waiting for a friend to come along and help me.
Number 2 comes along, yay!
Yeah, number 2. Yeah, we don't need to go back to that hellhole.
Oh god.
I always love stories like that. The moment where you give up on a game because it was too scary.
Yeah, there's a few. Honestly, there's a few games like that with me. There was another one, one of those kind of survival games as well. John, you might be able to help me out in this one.
I need more information.
First person, you can't kill anyone. You've no weapons. All you can do is run away from the enemy.
Outlast.
Amnesia.
Outlast, that's it. Yeah.
Outlast.
Yeah.
Outlast one is the scariest game I've ever played.
That
I
is
cannot play Outlast. I tried.
horrendous.
do it.
Is that
I
the one you
finished
can
it.
look over your shoulder when you're running?
Yes, I believe so. Well, you can do it you can turn kind of behind you and look behind you while you're running.
That just
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not afraid to say it. Okay, I'm afraid.
Silent Hill 2 did that to me when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's.
I remember walking into a room and the camera was positioned so that you could see the door that I came out and you could see me, but you couldn't see any of the rest of the room in front of you. And I could just hear noises and I got up and just went off.
The camera's the greatest enemy in that game.
Yeah.
I the first time I played Outlast, I turned it off for months and I finished it later. But the only game I can think of that I actually quit because I was too scared. Now I don't know what age I would have been when this game came out, but Doom 3. For some reason, that game scared the hell out of me because you can only have your flashlight or the gun out at the same time, and you're going through these dark rooms. Oh, it was
Unmodded Doom 3 is terrifying.
I say I played about 20 minutes and I was like, you know what? I don't need any more of this. Again, I can't remember when it came out, what age I was, but I was not in the mood.
This would be the main reason to buy VR. It's just the main reason. It's just horror games.
Oh,
it just
I don't know if I can handle it, dude. I don't know if I can handle that.
Resident
that
Evil
reminded me.
8
Resident
came
Evil
out
4.
on
No,
VR.
work away there. I'll have a look for this.
Resident Evil 8 came out on PSVR this week, I think. The news.
Nice.
And all those absolute degenerates using it to look up at Lady Dimitrescu. Oh yeah, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah, VR review dropped 2 days ago, and it's been getting really good reviews. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Another game I actually never played, the 8 one.
The PSVR 2 in general is getting really good reviews.
8 is very good, Ronan. It's not as good. It's not as good as 7, in my opinion. 7. It's not as scary as 7. It's more of like an action adventure than it is a goddamn. Because 7 is terrifying. The first half an hour, 40 minutes of 7 is very scary.
It's horrendously
I have started
scary.
that game 3 times.
Paddy made me play that game during the 24-hour stream, and it was not a fun experience.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if I had somebody else in the room with me, it'd probably be fine.
I love Resident Evil 7. I've
That's
finished it loads of
fantastic.
times.
I appreciate Resident Evil
It's
7.
just long
I can't
enough.
say I love
It's
it
just
because
long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I will say just before we go off the topic, Sons of the Forest, the man has become a meme. You have like an AI counterpart
Yeah, I've
who
seen
like
that.
you give instructions to because he's deaf, and you write down a piece of paper, and he's a meme because every time he does something, he gives you a thumbs up, and it's just memes of him doing really stupid stuff. Like you ask him to go cut down trees, and you have a tree house, and he cuts down the tree that your tree house is on, and the whole structure falls down, and then he turns around and he gives you a thumbs up.
Doesn't he lie down then as well? He's like this.
Yeah.
He lies down.
My work here is done.
Evan, the PT
Brilliant.
demo, holy crap. I got
Oh yeah.
most of the way through that, but that is another anxiety-driven hell that I still have on my PS4, actually. Yeah.
I like
your
all that.
PS4 is worth something then.
Is it worth something?
Definitely, yeah. It's like
Oh,
a phone.
yeah.
It maybe not as much, but it's like a phone with the original Flappy Bird on it.
Yeah.
Was that rumor going around? Your phone's worth £1 million now. You got Flappy Bird.
Because you can't even re-download PT if you own
No,
it
you
anymore.
can't re-download it. That's why I kept it on it.
Yeah, good shout. I have a feeling that's
Let's do a price check after the show, if you don't mind.
Just buy it. Auction next week.
Yeah. There's no show next week. It's just an auction. PT
Just an
demo.
auction.
get the raffle site going again.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so Sons of the Forest, definitely looking forward to that one, and I'll be playing with friends, so that's going to be a better time than friends.
Oh, friends.
Friends.
Oh, friends.
Forest friends. Okay, let's get to the nitty gritty here. Actually, wait a second. We have our latest section, Crime Watch.
Have you seen Jake?
Smugglers can't stop hiding their stashes in video games. So it's the mid
I know I can't.
1980s. You need to smuggle some drugs, and you're also a huge nerd. The solution to that dilemma, as a video game collector Julian Turner found out, was to pack drugs inside his NES cartridges of roller games and golf. which was smart thinking because you need drugs to enjoy NES golf for more than 5 minutes. We had to go back into the archives there for that one, guys, because there's no latest Crime Watch.
I guarantee they'll turn up tomorrow. You'll see them tomorrow.
Yeah. The big gaming heist.
I love the way the title is they can't stop doing it, and it's like an article.
They can't
from the
stop.
80s.
Yeah,
It's from the 80s. Oh, they can't stop. They're still doing it today. There's some lad with the really grey hair at the minute going, "Jeez, I wish I could stop. I wish I could stop."
I'm telling you, if there's one group of people that hate the whole new digital gaming scene, it's drug smugglers who smuggle through physical cartridges.
Yeah,
they even didn't like CDs because the boxes were a lot skinnier. The cartridge.
Now they have to stick to their
boxes with the ideal, like VHS.
You can't
boxes.
digitalize drugs.
No,
So to say.
Not yet. Not yet. I can see something like freaking brain frequencies or something. Like, get an audio file that makes
Demolition Man.
I have a question for you, lads.
6 inches. Oh, go on.
Have you ever had anything in the little back slot for your PS4 or your PS2?
For the part that looked like it was a hard drive slot.
Yes.
No.
Is
that the right answer?
I'm just because we're talking about drugs. I used to hate hashing that when I was a kid.
Good way to heat up.
If you do that in a freaking PS4 when the yoke goes out like a freaking tractor, you'd smoke up the whole room. It would be like a freaking vaporizer.
I think me and all of my friends, we used to the little slot in the back of the PS2 was where you had things.
Oh.
Now all the mommies out there looking for the new PS5s. Where's the slot? Where is it? Where's the slot?
My new hard drive is in that, mommy.
Anything I wanted to hide, I just used to hide up on my wardrobe because I'm tall and my mom is like 4 foot nothing. So I was like, you couldn't get it if you tried, huh? Come on.
I know my mommy's probably watching this, so I didn't hide anything.
No.
Paddy was a good child.
I was the best. I used to narc on people.
And if he wasn't, he's not going to say it on the show.
Mammy,
I was a narc.
I saw it with hash.
Some say you still are, right?
You were
trying to make me hide it in my PlayStation.
You were a Randall.
I was what?
Were you a Randall?
Randall, yeah.
He made me do it.
It
was Aiden's.
He made you smoke it too. He did.
He did, Mammy. I saw him. He
forced
it. And he inhaled and he kept it there for a while and then he exhaled. He did it the proper way, man.
He told me babe. He told me babe.
Okay. Let's get on to talk about The Last of Us episode 7, guys. A lot of controversy around this episode. Again, I'm not sure why. Because people just
Jesus, a couple of girls had a shift. It's fucking 20 something, whatever.
What I don't get is, and again, obviously this audience exists because the show has become such a phenomenon on its own right, rather than the game. But like, have you not played the game? Like, it's like I see people using this 2023 woke agenda. It's like, this was in the game. Freaking mid 2000s, man. What you
It was
talking
DLC,
about?
wasn't it? Was that the DLC?
It
does appear very people have played that DLC.
Yeah, I didn't play it, to be honest.
Yeah, but a lot of people play it too.
I knew what happened. I'm not stupid. I know what happens.
So we're set up with Ellie being trained with the Fedra. You kind of see a little bit of her training, and she's obviously trying to be. She's having a chat with one of the generals or one of the leaders. She's told she possibly could become a leader if she stays out of trouble. And then her friend comes back after supposedly disappearing for a couple of weeks. Her friend's name is?
I can't remember.
Actually, Diane. No, it's not Diane. I don't worry about that.
Diane. So what kind of name is that?
Anyway, somebody will get the name for me. Then they go into the city and they go to the mall, and she turns on the lights. They have one of the best nights of their lives, because you can imagine it's grim in the post-apocalyptic world of The Last of Us. To be honest with you, I had a good time watching it. It was fun. I absolutely loved the arcade scene. Like, could you imagine that as a kid, coming across an arcade that's fully working, and then even when the coins were, you know, they were basically coins all over the floor. They were picking them up, and it just, for me, it was just a good time. I think with Riley, there you go. Thank you, Alan.
No, it was a decent episode, especially like the part where he said she goes, they took a screen. What was there? Some joke about a screenshot. And she's like, "What's a screenshot?"
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
yeah.
No phones anymore,
jokes.
kids. Go back to the old days, playing arcade machines like we used to do, and then we got the phone, and then it ended.
Yeah, I liked it. I think I've enjoyed every episode that I've seen so far.
It was definitely a filler episode. It was definitely a filler one, but that's kind of what DLC is. It's a bit of filler. But it was it's good to get back into it and see what happens next week.
In terms of filler, like the way I'd see filler is kind of nearly like a waste of time. I thought it was building Ellie as a character and showing some of her background. Like, up to this point, unless you played the game, you didn't know her background. You didn't know where she came from. There was small mentions of her training with Fedra or being brought up by them.
I suppose if you didn't, like, that's kind of like, I'm looking at it from a person that already knows the story, so that's probably why you're looking at it saying, "Oh, sure, I know it already happens." You know what I mean? So I knew this was coming already. So, you know, that kind of way. Where someone, I understand what you're reading. If someone didn't watch it or didn't know what was going to happen, you'd be kind of, it's a good episode. Like, it was a good. I'm not saying it was a bad episode anyway.
It shows as well, kind of her, you know, how she is so strong when she meets Joel. Like, she's pretty able to take care of herself, and obviously the reason is because she was trained in some shape or form.
Isn't her most of her life? She's on her own all the time. Everyone leaves her, and she has to be very strong in that world.
Another important part was, and it'll obviously continue on into next week, is at the very start of the episode, she's opening the door, basically going to leave Joel, and then she thinks about this whole flashback, and then she runs around, she gets the sewing kit, stitches him back up. Obviously he's going to be okay now, and we can kind of move on with the story. But I loved it, I have to say. Like, the problem is, when I see these reviews, I'm like, oh, what are they after doing this time around? And then I watch them, I'm like, people are literally going to give out about anything.
Oh yeah.
But I honestly just think it's the media, like, looking for clicks a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Who are these people that are giving out about?
That's true. That is very true. That is
somehow
that
Bible gets the quick first. You know, oh yeah, there's loads. There's loads in our data center coming through.
Actually, yeah. We should start doing that just for the clicks.
Last of Us is
never.
Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
How do we stop these cheating bastards in video games?
Is woke just a term used for anything nowadays?
It's just a new term,
If anyone who uses the word woke, ironically or unironically, are usually wankers. Like, people legitimately, people who say they are woke and they're woke and they're usually the worst type of people. But also people are like, oh, they're woke agenda. They're also horrible, horrible people. So,
but technically, you just used the word woke. Does that make you a wanker?
I used it as an explanation. I used it now, not every word you can get away with that excuse. Believe me.
Definition: wanker.
Is woke in the dictionary?
I'd say it
is. I mean, to wake up, I suppose. Like,
the
past.
Yeah, there's no political agenda here in the Oxford dictionary, anyway.
Yeah, not yet, but if enough people use it, it will be.
Past of wake.
No, that's it. That's what I said. Yeah. It's a word already.
But it'll be in the dictionary. If people keep using that term, it'll be changed. Like, that's the way it works.
Well, no, it'll add a second meaning.
Yeah.
Won't be changed.
All it has to do is make enough people use it.
It'll continue to mean past of wake.
Yeah.
I don't know. They changed literally that time, or was that, or did I get clickbaited? Did I get clickbaited that time? Damn it.
I think there's nothing worse than people that are reading the headlines and not clicking the article. I think that's, and then using it as information. It's like, oh god, you made yourself look so stupid right there.
It drives me insane.
But these days, well, most of the times the articles are bullshit as well. So
yeah, they're just, it's completely not what it says. It's like a little particle taken out with the article. It's like, oh, it's nothing to do with this at all. Ha ha, we got you. But that's how people get their information. That's what's bad.
Yeah.
It just Actually, I'll leave it there.
Good show.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
What's everyone's favorite episode so far? Let's go.
Oh my god, favorite episode. It's got to be the bloater, right?
That was pretty good. That one felt most like the game.
How many episodes left? So 10 episodes altogether.
There's 9 episodes.
9, so there's 2 left.
Oh, no, we've nothing to watch again. I miss Game of Thrones.
Probably. Actually, I won't say.
I missed Game of Thrones like 2 years after it ended. Before it ended.
Well, yeah. Like, I see. I again go back into it. It wasn't the best, but compared to season 8, season 7 wasn't like as.
I will give you that every day of the week. Season 8 was like remarkably worse than season 7.
yeah, exactly. But like when I was watching season 7, it was like this feels kind of different. But we were still me and my friends.
The hype was still there,
getting hype. But 8, after the Night King episode, it was just like, what?
How do you waste this?
Azor Ahai, what?
House of the Dragon is pretty badass.
Yeah, I like House of the Dragon.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
brilliant.
That was nerve-wracking going into that for the first time because you're thinking, how are they going to do this? But yeah, it's great show.
I love seeing Matt Smith do well.
Oh, Matt Smith is
such a good actor.
Oh yeah.
The whole story in general is brilliant.
Every actor that has been chosen to play Doctor Who since it came back are all unbelievable actors.
My favorite actor in that show, I think it was the guy who played the King. He was
What's his name?
Cosgrave, is it?
Paddy Cosgrave, yeah.
Yeah,
he was unbelievable. Like that freak again, spoilers, but like whatever. But that freaking scene where like it looks like the bad lads have won finally, and then he's like basically half dead, and he's got the cane, and he's making himself go to the throne.
His face has disappeared, hasn't it? Like there's bits of his face missing.
Just and like I don't know if they said it in the show. I think they did, but what was happening was the throne was rejecting him. So like he kept getting these scrapes off the throne, off the Iron Throne, and that's where all the wounds were coming from.
All right, I thought it was a disease. Thought the old leprosy.
It's probably started like that. It turned into a disease, like, but it was like
I heard it was leprosy as well.
Well, maybe they were separate.
That sounds like a better story, John.
Maybe he had leprosy as well, but that was a thing where he was always getting cut. By
was having a good time
like
then.
Maybe he was getting cut and he was blaming it on leprosy, but didn't realize that the throne.
Fact check.
He was sick anyway. God love him.
He's dead now anyway.
You could easily headcanon stuff like that.
Yeah. Topic of the show, guys. How are we going to get rid of these cheating?
Fire.
So cheating in video games is not something new, but something happened kind of last week that I suppose hit all of our, well, I know Paddy, John, and myself, because there was a video released of Tarkov, and it literally showed. Does anyone want to explain? Because it hurts the soul.
I'm an independent party. I can do it.
Yeah, let's go in. You jump in.
So the guy just went and very easily purchased himself some cheats, ran a program in the background, and opened up a game of Tarkov, and instantly could see where everybody was. Could see if they were human or not. Could see what weapons they were, and like roughly the skeleton of the character. And then he started doing some wiggling, and people who shouldn't be able to see him did some wiggling back. Very obvious that these other people were cheating. And what did he say? It was 60% of maps.
60% of games. He said 60% of games he found cheaters.
Yeah, he found cheaters in.
Yeah,
it was pretty insane.
Yeah, the thing about that is because Tarkov is so bloody hard. You don't really want that many people cheating, and we make it's so hard already.
No. You don't want it in any game, really. No. But like it's a tough one because I sympathize with both sides on this one because I do believe, and I know there's the theories out there that BSG like the hackers because they get banned and then they buy new accounts and it's endless money. I don't think they do that.
It goes to a lot more than just that game. I think it's in all games on PC, nearly FPS games, like some there's high risk, high reward kind of geos. Yeah. I say there's a lot of cheaters ahead of all of it.
Oh, Warzone is awful. Well, it used to be. I don't know.
No, it still is. Definitely is.
Okay.
Apex, Warzone, anything that they're just like high hard games.
But you see, the thing with Call of Duty is you go in, you get killed by a hacker, you watch his kill cam, you go, that's a hacker. Who gives a crap? Start a new game.
Yeah.
In Tarkov, it hurts. That was your gear. That was you spent like you've lost a part of your soul every time you die.
Tarkov does seem to be a real game. There was that bit in that video where he was like, he wiggled at the cheater wiggled back, and then he's like, and then the cheater flanked round the room and killed everyone in the room, and I was like, and with no difficulty whatsoever, they had no idea he was there. I was like, oh.
Well, you wouldn't need aimbot. Like he might have had aimbot, but just knowing exactly where everybody is.
Yeah, you would
not. I don't want to toot my own horn. I think I could kill everybody in that room if I knew exactly where everybody was.
Yeah,
and like if I knew exactly what their health was or
just
what
pre-fire.
If you knew you were going to be behind someone, the time to kill is so low.
Yeah.
You sneak around, they don't know you're there. You know exactly where they are.
I think the big difference, it was mentioned there already, but the big difference between Tarkov and any other game is without using cheats, you don't 100% know if it's a hacker. Like, obviously, there's very rare instances where you know, but it's very
sometimes. I remember there was a game that's coming to my head, and we were thinking, and we were in in construction, and you know where you can go up on top of the buildings now in the middle, where the bosses do be sometimes. With the gap and that before customs. I know it's hard to see, nobody's there, but we were up high there, and I remember someone just came behind us and just killed us, and I was like that there. I was like, how the hell did he know we were there? Yeah, it's like one of them instances where you're like, was it a hacker? Wasn't a hacker? And you're like, you're nearly convinced yourself that it was, but you can't say it was.
It sounds no like way it was.
Yeah, but it's just like there's no way.
But now that you can say it was.
Yeah, now you can say it was.
Now you know that. Now you know in every situation. There's a 60% chance.
That's why, but that makes me not want to play the game because like the game, like it does. Like I only got up to level 15 or something this time. I didn't bother keep playing or something. But it's that hard that it takes you that long to get there. Like that was a good fucking 3 or 4 weeks at it. Do you know what I mean? It takes you so long to get there playing casually or whatever. So like if you're doing that and there's just lads coming in wiping you off the thing and they're cheating, it's just like, do I want to play?
Do you want to know how you beat the cheating bastards?
Big cheat?
No, and this is genuinely.
You don't play it.
No. Bungie has I'm going to talk about Destiny because I fucking love Destiny. Bungie has mostly fixed this on PC by suing everyone.
Who do they sue? All the people that make the cheats.
If you Google Bungie sues Cheatmaker, they have been in the past 2 years. I think 12 different suits. And they've won every single one for millions.
But it can't be that hard to set up like a business, like a business offshore in different places and set up that you can't be found. Like, do you know what I mean?
They didn't. And it scared people.
It should be silly not to.
Because Bungie have found a lot of the cheat makers sued them and have been heavily banning people caught cheating. But there is a problem, and it's that the consoles have now become the place where cheats happen a lot in Destiny, because there's little devices. I'm not going to name them because I don't want any idiots to get any ideas and buy them, that let you plug your controller in and you program in ways to have no recoil, ways to have like 3 times as good aim assist. And so PC has gotten better and consoles gotten worse in a weird way in the past couple of years for that, which is something I would never have expected. But yeah, suing them off, that has really helped.
You probably never beat them really altogether. Like you're always gonna have people.
I don't think you can. No, I think it's gotten too bad, and it's just even in the video, he was like, a lot of people weren't even using the big hacks like aimbots. Most people were actually just using the radar and the wall hack where you can see through the walls. Like he said, he saw no blatant. Yeah, he saw no blatant cheats. Like he saw no. Well, not when I mean blatant. I mean he saw 0 people flying through the sky. He saw 0 people like shifting through walls and stuff. He saw none of that stuff, which people do complain about as well.
But those cheats, those cheats in games are kind of gone.
Yeah,
but like
I've seen videos in Tarkov.
Regardless of what cheats, it's cheating. Regardless whether it's seeing a position or aim button. I don't care what cheat you're using. If
maybe
you're cheating,
Tarkov, you should be able to watch the whole replay, the whole raid after.
But they're trying that. They're doing it's Nikita or BSG, so they've said this several times that we're working on it. I think the system was going to be when the raid was over, you could look at the game, but you could look at it through cameras on the map, set points, which cool. Is like, it would be cool, but if it's after the raid, why not just give us the kill cam? Because it's after the raid. The raid's over. You can't say, hey, bud, there's a guy over there that killed me. The raid's already over.
No, but I mean, what you could do is if you think like something's happening, you could just watch the raid back and see this man's movement, see what he's doing, and see what he's able to do.
Yeah.
Like the KD was coming up. Like I'm completely after the raid's over, and nobody can watch it till the raid is over because that's what they're saying. And watch like the way in in Fortnite and stuff, you can look through the whole. They can do 100
Spectator
players,
view.
and they can spectator mode. They can watch the whole map, and you can see exactly what's going on. Like if you did that and watched everything that your map as a person doing, like if you have a KD at 24 in Tarkov, I swear to God, like you're in the top 1%. Like, come on, you're definitely up to something.
That's probably a like logistics and storage issue.
Yeah, probably is. They have to do something. They're
They
going
have
to
to do
keep going.
something. I do agree.
They have to be rich at this stage. Jesus Christ, the amount of money they're making out of that game. They have to be. Something has to be going on. They're making money somewhere. It has to be going somewhere.
So Nikita posted on Reddit. This was two days ago. So obviously after the onslaught of messages he was probably getting after this video dropped. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to go over the points that he mentions. So we have always been concerned about this problem, and the work to catch cheaters is always going on. They usually come in waves. Right now we ban several thousand cheaters a day, and usually most of them are blocked after playing a little. BattleEye anti-cheat continues to improve as well as cheats. It's an internal race to see who can get past each other's defenses the fastest. In the last week alone, the BattleEye has been updated 4 times. We continue to improve our own additional cheater detection tools. We will have an update soon and start working on new hacker detection methods to automate it and improve the overall quality and speed of cheater detection and banning. The reporting system is also being improved by adding a notification if the one you reported has received a ban. Please keep reporting suspicious players. It's such a this is a difficult one, like, because I love Tarkov. I think it's the best first person shooter game I've ever played. But this video, it's different when you know about cheating and then you actually see it. And I think that's what the video did. It just showed us how easy it is, one, to get into one of these Discord servers, how cheap it is to buy a cheat, and how hard it is to detect. Like, they seem to be just everywhere. And if it was a case that it was 10% or even 20%, I'd say, well, look, that's not too bad. There's a good chance that you can play a couple of different raids without bumping into a cheater. But 60% is just too much for me to waste my time on that game.
Yeah, it's a bit
How
ridiculous.
many games did he play to get that 60% number?
150 raids.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, something like that. It was either 125, but I think.
And then they were saying, like,
Pestily did break it down.
Work away, John. Work away.
Pestily did break it down where he said to get a proper data point for that, because Pestily does his own ones where he goes through bags, and like he goes through bags a certain amount of time to see the percentage of different items coming up. So he said he thought it was a little low because he broke it down like, is he doing East and West servers than US? And if he is, how many times did he play each map? And if he played each map whatever, a day and night, he only would have, if he did do that, he would have only played like 3 matches in each map for each server for each time zone. So he thinks that like 150 probably wasn't a good subset, but he still says it's still not good. But like he would the sample size wasn't big enough for him to be completely happy with the 60%.
I know, but this guy isn't a video game investigator. Like, he was just doing a little test, and this is what he found. Like, I've seen a lot of streamers say that the data isn't exact, and okay, it's not exact, but it's still a decent amount of proof.
Like 150 is not a small amount of games.
Like, there was a lot of kind of reaction videos too. I haven't seen Pestily's one, but even Landmark, he was like, well, the numbers are, they're not exact, and this, that, and the other. Okay, well, even if it's 40% or 50%, it's still too much. Like,
did he say what region he was playing in?
He didn't. So that was one of Pestily's things, is that he didn't.
If he's playing in like East Europe, that is always a really high cheating percentage.
I would imagine he was playing in America because he was Canadian. I'm not sure, like those kind of servers. But that was one of the things Pestily said, was that like I've completely forgot my train of thought because the whole which region we talking. So
it'd be better catching the ones in Eastern Europe since they're in Russia. No,
every game East Europe is like always a really high percentage cheaters,
and Australasia allegedly because they have a lot of actual, like, we'll say, I know it's not gold in Tarkov, but they call it gold farm. Do you know what I mean? Like they use hacks to make money.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
And another problem with Battlestate games is, say if they ban an account and the person wasn't actually cheating, they don't talk to them. Like they don't get back to the
unless
people.
they're a famous streamer.
Unless they're a famous streamer. So like you could get banned. I could get banned today, and I've never cheated in a game in my life. And if I went to message them after spending €150 on the game, they wouldn't message me back. Like they'd be like, "Nah, you don't."
That sounds like YouTube.
Yeah,
How
but
do
it's
they
like,
investigate
Nah,
the cheaters?
they don't investigate. They don't do anything. They just
That was the other kind of half controversy this week as well on the subject, was that there was Trey K47 and One Peg and Clean were part of this Discord server that was supposed to, what their job was they'd get clips and they would mark them as suspect for Nikita to have a look at. But like it wasn't clear cut these guys were cheating. They're guys, hey, have a look at this one. And basically everyone that they said was slightly suspect was on that ban list. So they were like, "Oh, Nikita's not looking at these. They're
just
taking our word
to
for
banning
data.
people.
They're just banning them. This is not what we wanted." So they disbanded that Discord group because they didn't think
there was a lad I was playing with, and he
on good faith.
He's only playing a few weeks, and he got banned. Now I don't know if I can't say he was cheating or not. I don't know him that well, but I presume he wasn't cheating. And it's the same thing that no message back, no word from it. 150, 100, whatever he spent on the game, down the drain. No talking to him. So like you're like, I don't know. The game's in bits at the minute for that kind of stuff. It's not good. Like they need.
But the audio being fecked, like that was fecked since Wipe, and it was never really fixed. And then we got Invisible Players, which thank God I was gone by the time Invisible Players came in.
Elastic
That's
Bandon.
a legend. Yeah, well, that was, in fairness, I didn't mind that too much because anytime they introduce a new map, the first few weeks are nightmare. But the Invisible Players is just how would you come back in and Invisible Players, like imagine being murdered by someone up in your face, being like, what?
So annoying.
But it was a glitch, wasn't it? It wasn't really.
It was a glitch. But sometimes people would like, from what I understand now, I don't 100% know it because I know people were talking about that there was a way of kind of making it happen, doing something with your ping that people were kind of exploiting it as well, and they were making it happen sometimes as well.
To be honest, I don't get it. Why I don't get people cheating on games. I just don't understand it. Like it's just play the game or don't. Like if you don't like it, like feck off. Like honestly, I don't get it. Especially paying for it. You only paid for the game. What are you cheating for?
Amen.
Because
makes no sense.
Because they want to be the best. It's all about showing off your stats and being like, look, I know they're not the Aiden. Believe me, I hate cheaters. In their own deluded mind. It's for bragging rights. So they can be like, hey, I'm already platinum in this game, or hey, I have a KD of 20. Like, you'll get there, champ. They want to be seen as the guy of the game.
Also playing Tarkov and that, we don't really talk about our stats too. Maybe very, very now and again.
Because of what we're talking about.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Like,
no.
Maybe not. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Like Apex or Fortnite or Call of Duty or anything like that. There, I just don't get cheating to be good at these games. Like I just don't
agree.
I understand. Like to be honest, I understand with Tarkov a bit with the cheating for profit. Okay, I like. Not that I condone it, but I understand it more than just cheating to be good at the game.
Yeah, I understand that.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's someone's livelihood. I understand. I get you. I hate it, but at least I can understand it. That this is how I make my money. Yeah. That's fair enough. I hate you, but I understand you.
Just being good at the game. Oh look, but you're not good at the game.
There's a massive black market as well that goes along with this.
Yeah,
like
huge.
There seems to be a massive amount of money being made by these companies. I just don't know where we go from here. Like it overall, like all the videos and knowing that there's cheaters going on, and there is times that are really, really suspect when you get killed. That video really just, I don't know, it kind of made me not want to play it more than anything else. Made me not want to play Tarkov. Like it's like I was even there the other day saying, will I just turn it on? I was like, nah. And I would usually like jump in for a scav run, and like I adore the game. I just think, first of all, you know, I think we need to get to a stage where the game does drastically change in terms of its content as well, because there's only so many times where you can have a wipe, and I understand there's new maps being added in that, but there needs to be big changes. If we're waiting a year or 6 months, there needs to be massive changes made to the game. I think Arena is going to be quite interesting when that comes out.
Will it though? If the cheater situation isn't?
Yeah, but you'd like to think that there's a kill cam in Arena. Like it's a smaller maps. smaller maps, different. It's a different dev team as well that's taken that over.
There's so much you can say, like you're saying, oh, it's a indie developers, they're doing their own thing, it's great. How much does it end up like that with Batman saying is you can be the hero for so long and you end up becoming the villain?
Yeah.
You know, because it's just it's like that's the way it is. It's like you're going too long. It's we understand it, but we need it. We're gonna get old soon. We're gonna die.
There was always this contingent of people on Twitter that no matter what BSG did, it was always, oh, they're the worst, they're the worst, they're the worst. I'm seeing more and more of normal players, and kind of, I think the sentiment is actually sort of shifting that way, even amongst the people that weren't always out for BSG, if you know what I mean.
But like even Pestily, like they're probably the biggest advocate for. Like I could see him going off the game in a year or two. Like I'm just saying, like if it keeps going the way he is, he'll get bored of it and he'll try to get it. If another game comes along,
something else will come along.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something will come along and take
like
that.
Just no developer has like Call of Duty tried it, but I hate that mode in Call of Duty. I think it's a really poor.
I've never played it either.
All my friends love it.
Yeah, well,
all my friends love it too. I have a group of friends that play it. I still haven't played.
What's it called?
CMZ.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. But look at it.
But Call of Duty kind of ruined Battle Royales as well, let's be honest. They just like ruining things.
Blackout was good.
Blackout was good, but that's was that 3 games ago or 2 games ago?
Yeah. I really.
That's a good long time ago as well. That's like 4 years ago or something.
It was the beginning of that was Warzone 1 was the beginning of COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Blackout came straight, like that was their first attempt at, and it was the best one. Yeah. Because they've just gone Warzone-y. They've gone arcadey with Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone 1 got massive because I remember it dropped at the start of COVID. It was like everybody locked in. By the way, Warzone's out and it's free. Yeah. I was playing it. Everybody was playing Warzone. What else were you doing?
But everybody hates cheaters, well, except for the cheaters themselves. Everybody hates, like you watch streamers and stuff. There's nothing more.
They hate themselves. I believe deep down they hate themselves as well.
That's why I'm going to play single-player games and play Sons of the Forest with you guys.
Yeah,
where no cheaters can be.
100%.
I'm cheating.
I've already got my infinite health and instant zombie kill cheats going.
Like okay, imagine that going to that game there and like just saying, "Oh, I've infinite health. Why are you playing it?"
So just to kind of throw a spanner in the mix here, because I know we've all done it. What cheats have you used in video games in the past?
Grand Theft Auto cheats. That's
Grand Theft Auto,
yeah.
Up, down, left, right, square
up,
X.
down, left, out. Was it
R1, R2, L1,
R2?
Yeah.
What did that give you?
Left, down, right, up, left, down,
guns. It had to be the guns. Was the first one.
Guns, was it?
Guns is the first one. And
guns,
then helicopters.
Tank. Yeah, I was always tank, and then you put the this is more Grand Theft Auto 3, wasn't it? Where you put the thing backwards and you'd shoot and you get the flying car cheat and you'd make your car fly.
But I'm sorry, but Grand Theft Auto, it's in the name. You're supposed to be bad. You're supposed to be.
Does anyone remember the original Doom? Do you remember any?
I played the original Doom, but I'm not cheating.
God mode was the cheat.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what were great cheats actually? Age of Empires 2. I still remember them. Cheesesteak Larry or Cheesesteak Jimmy.
Yes, I actually remember that.
Full health. Or how do you turn this on? Was to get the blue car.
Yeah,
and the blue car had machine guns on the side. Yeah, I do.
Wow, that is such a throwback.
I still remember them. From my childhood, I still remember them.
What other game did you type in words?
Furious the Monkey Boy.
Never played
what
that.
Was
another cheat in Age of Empires 2? Furious the Monkey Boy.
Furious the Monkey Boy. Wow.
I don't think I had that one. I
wonder if they work in the remaster Age of Empires.
I do not
no idea.
know.
How do you turn this on? Surely works. To get the little car with the machine gun.
I remember the car. That is such nostalgic there.
Or winner is just makes you win.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a silly cheat, to be fair. Unless you're like just about to lose.
You're about to die, yeah.
Funny, I think I've told this story before, but the weirdest cheat I ever came across, and I don't know why it worked, was on my Mega Drive. We used to have it on top of this press. And there was actual drawers in the press that you could open up and bang close. And one time I was playing Sonic, I think it was Sonic 3D, funnily enough. And we put it on, and in the menu screen, I think I just banged the press randomly, and banging the press, it must have been like a cartridge shake or something, opened up a cheat menu. And like a debug cheat menu. And I swear to God, every single time we played that game, we go to and we just banged the press, didn't work. Bang it. Worked. Banging the press was the cheat.
Wow.
Broke the PlayStation.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm just looking at funny cheats here.
I can actually remember. It's like probably one of the first websites that I remember actually going to was supercheats.com. It's like one of the first one.
I mean,
What
Tomb
was
Raider.
Joe Cartoon was that one as well? It was a.
Still use GameFAQs to this day.
Yeah,
Cool.
there was one where you put the hamster in the microwave and you used to press the button. That was an old website too. Joe Cartoon, I think it was called. I wonder if that's still good.
I have no idea.
And the
Tomb
internet
Raider.
just came around.
Tomb Raider
cheats.
had cheats, didn't it?
The cheats to the first
It
Spider-Man
sure did.
game on PS1 were
It
great.
sure did. No, it's cheats.
Sure did.
No, there wasn't. It didn't exist. It didn't exist, people. It's a joke. There was no naked Laura cheat, all right? Believe me, I tried.
I can't believe this is actually still a website.
But the freaking blowing her up. Do you remember that one? If you did like a load of button prompts and then did a backflip, she would just blow up.
Yes, I
Remember
do
that cheat?
remember that actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember back when they used to put like actual game content behind cheat codes occasionally?
Yeah. I mean,
No.
cheating
Spider-Man-
in a thing.
Spider-Man 1 for the PS1 had a whole different way of playing the game where Stan Lee was the narrator and everything was kind of weird, but it was only accessible by a cheat code.
Oh, cool. Was he a narrator just of the game, or was he doing like commentary? Do you know, like
No,
you
it
see
was
commentary in
narrative
a
of the
movie?
game.
Oh.
It was like a Twilight Zone version of a Spider-Man game where everything was
Ooh.
kind of weird. It
That's cool.
was a cool game.
This one is actually classed as a cheat here, but it's not really. But Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, the end, you know when you kind of time skip it in
Yeah. Yeah. You change the time a day.
you change the time. Well, I suppose it is a cheat, isn't it? You change the time for a week later and he dies of old age. Yeah.
I
That's
love when they give
hilarious.
out to you for letting them die of old age. It's so funny.
The Shelby Cobra cheat, John. In
Which
Age of
that?
Empires.
Oh
too.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Blue
That's the one
car.
I remember from the first Age of Empires.
That is
Oh,
brilliant.
man.
that reminded me of that GTA 3 where you went into you broke in and took the Shelby. It's a GT in the. Remember you
Yeah.
used to go up to the showroom and
Yeah.
you just get the same car every time. The Banshee,
Viper, wasn't
the
it?
Banshee, I think it was called.
Oh,
was it?
Banshee, yeah,
Oh,
Banshee.
Yeah.
That just clicked my memories there. Everett's come back to me.
Good times.
Good times.
Good times. Guys, on that note, we're going to go and install Sons of the Forest. We're going to record some content. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with the guys, as always. From Paddy, John, Aidan, and myself, this has been the Republic of Players podcast, episode 4. Please do hit that like and subscribe to the channel. We are trying to grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're getting there. Every
Yeah.
week we seem to be getting more and more. Thank you to all the support on the
We love
Republic
all
of
of
Players
you.
community and around the world. We are
Don't
trying
go
to
cheating
grow
now.
everywhere.
No cheating.
No cheating, yeah, unless it's in
cheating.
single player video games where nobody else
We may be
gets,
gamers,
hurt.
but we never play you.
We love all our fans except for the people that pay
We're
for
just going to
cheap
end it on that
software.
one, Paddy. Let's go around the table here. Aidan, where can the good folks find you?
On Destiny,
Sweet. What's your
Just
gamer
back-
tag?
I'm One Winged Angel on Steam.
Awesome.
Ooh,
It's good
New,
names.
I get it.
there's a new Destiny out. It's great.
I seen it. It's all over my PS
Yeah.
store.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all over. It's got like
It's like
6 sections.
Yeah,
Destiny.
new expansion out. It's been real fun.
I
These
love
are
the fact that
Destiny.
there's still people playing that game. I really do.
It had
Wow.
300,000 concurrent players. on
Yeah,
Steam
there's a lot of
yesterday.
people playing that game.
successful. It's good.
Yeah.
John.
You can find me at 20 for Gaming. That's TOOOLD for Gaming, all one word. You can find me over on YouTube, on Twitch when I bother actually making content. You can find me here on the Republic doing the podcast, and you can find me Twitch or Twitter, all that stuff. It's all the same name, 20 for Gaming.
Paddy.
The Republic of Players. There you go.
Yep, find me also on the Republic of Players. Join our chat, topping in there. It's actually, really nice just talking with gamers on a day-to-day basis. Nice bit of escapism on a normal day. So thank you everyone that has interacted with us on there, and really appreciate your feedback and opinions on the podcast as well. Check me out. I stream over on Twitch on the Alpha Fox, also everywhere else. Just come and join me on the Republic of Players. I'm usually over there hanging around talking video games. We will see
Unless you
everyone
pay
next
for
week.
cheats.
Yeah.
Unless you pay for cheats. then
Yeah,
you should
unless you
go
pay for
away.
cheats. No cheaters allowed, guys.
No.
See you next week. Same time, same place. Thank you,
Same
guys.
bat channel.
Bye.
Bye.
Why, Dr. Nick?